In this video, we'll be going through how you can add Siri control or Apple Intelligence control to your eKyro devices. In this example, we'll be using an eKyro smart plug, and we'll be adding on and off control using Siri or Apple Intelligence for that specific device. A couple prerequisites are that one, you have to have the eKyro smart plug connected within Smart Life. Here you can see that it is shown within Smart Life. And then the second thing is that you have to have the Shortcuts app installed. Here you can see that I do have Shortcuts installed, and typically that's pre-installed on iOS devices, but you can manually uninstall it. So if you have uninstalled it, just go to the App Store and reinstall the Shortcuts application. So we'll start within Smart Life, and the first thing you'll want to do is go back to the home screen. And from this screen, you will want to go to Scene on the bottom. And within Scene, you might get a pop-up, but you can select the plus button. And what we're going to want to do is create a on and off tap to run. So in this instance, I will select Create Scene. I will launch a tap to run. And under the then, I'll select the plus icon, Device. And in this instance, I only have one device that I want to control. So I will select Single Device, and I will select the eKyro smart plug. Now what I want to do is I want to change switch power, so I'll select that, and I want it to be on. There are some options that you could create a tap to run that would toggle it one way or the other. This one will be either a positive on or positive off. I'll select confirm. I will save that, and I'll set that to eKyro smart plug on. Okay, so now I have the tap to run that is eKyro smart plug on, and selecting that tap to run should turn the eKyro smart plug on if it's off. There you can see that the eKyro smart plug turned on when I selected that. So now that tap to run will turn the switch on, and we'll do the same for switch off. I'll hit the plus button, create scene, launch tap to run, select the plus, device, single device, smart plug, switch power, and off. Save that. eKyro smart plug off, and save. So now I have tap to runs for both on and off. Now once you have these tap to runs created, it's very simple to add them so you can use them with Siri or Apple Intelligence. All you need to do is select the Add to Siri on the bottom right hand corner. Then you'll select the plus button next to one of the tap to runs that you created. In this example, I'll select the on tap to run. And then you're going to want to make sure that the text that is in there is the exact text that you want to say when you want to trigger this tap to run, or in this example, turn on the smart plug. So I'll change the text from eKyro smart plug on to turn smart plug on. It's very important to make sure that the phrase is the exact same that you want to say to trigger this tap to run. Apple Intelligence and Siri can be pretty picky when it comes to the text that it recognizes, so just make sure that you put the text exactly as you're expecting to say it to trigger these commands. So in this example, hey Siri, turn smart plug on. I'll select done, and then I'll do the same for off. Hey Siri, turn smart plug off. I'll select done, and now those have been added to Siri, and you should be able to use those. Let's try them out. Hey Siri, turn smart plug on. And there you can see the plug turned on. Select done. Hey Siri, turn smart plug off. And there you can see that it turned off. And so that gives you control to operate those from within Siri, whether you're using that within your vehicle or on your mobile device. Now, one cool thing that you can do with this as well is you could actually add these to CarPlay. So let's just say that you use CarPlay, you've already created these scenes, you can really easily add these into CarPlay. And the way that you do that is on the bottom, you select Me, and then you would go to CarPlay on the bottom, execute tap to run, and you would add those two tap to runs to CarPlay. Then when you connect to CarPlay, you would go to Smart Life, and you'd be able to see those turn on or turn off scenes within CarPlay that you could execute them. Another cool thing that you could do is, if your phone has the action button, is you could link one of these actions to the action button. So for example, I'm actually going to create a new tap to run. create scene, launch tap to run. And in this instance, what I'm going to do is have the device just reverse the position of the switch. I'll select confirm, and I will save, and I'll tell this one toggle smart plug. All right, so there it's set to toggle the smart plug. So anytime that that tap to run is executed, and I'll just say run directly so it doesn't keep confirming to me, it will toggle that smart plug's direction. So if I tap it, it's off. You can see the indication from the light. Toggle it, it turns on, and toggle it, it turns off. Now that you have that, if you wanted to tie it to your action button, all you need to do is add it to Siri. So toggle smart plug, I'll leave it as that. Select done. Now that is within the Shortcuts application. And so if you go to settings within your device, you can see that you have the option of action button here. You could go to action button and you would select which shortcut you want. The action button can be used to do a variety of different things. Camera, focus, silent mode, but one of those options is to have it use a shortcut. In this example, I'm going to choose toggle smart plug, and now you can see that executing the action button will toggle that device. So I can press and hold the action button, and that will toggle your eKyro smart plug. In this video, we covered how to not only add your device to Siri, but also how to control it within CarPlay, and also how you can use your action button, if your phone has it, to control that specific device. If you have any questions or need additional assistance with some of these steps, feel free to reach out to us at info@eKyro.com.